Well, let's get started. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to the DOXX Report. Retired United States citizen, MAGA member, and proud of it. Recipient of Medicare payments, living and broadcasting from Central Florida. Oh, gee, Frank, where are you? Where do we live, Frank?
Del Boca Vista.
You always say that like you're quite not sure, but yes, Del Boca Vista. This is my personal YouTube channel, vlog, citizen journalism account, platform, and my generalized social online platform. Thank you for joining me. What a day. It is hot. And I didn't work out today. It's the hedge, the monster that you see on the golf course. I got out there at 6 a.m. It was 75 degrees, a little humid, but it was dark. But I had enough light to see because I forgot to turn off my birdcage light, and I put it on medium, like 50%, so it lit it up. And I just went to work with my trimmer, and my lower back is stiff, but I'll stretch it out. And it's just kind of awkward because you're holding the trimmer and you got to angle the blade right, and then the hand guard is hooking up onto the material. But it was dry. I mean, it took me 52 minutes to do the sides, the top, and the front. And tomorrow I'll do the back. Because then I had to rake it up. And so I got 2 full totes of material. I just got to do it every month. It's either that, or I got to let it go the entire season, the summer, and then come back to it, or get a crew to come in. But you ask the lawn service guys, they don't want anything to do with it. So, but as a special project, they'll do it, but I don't want to, but I got it done. And then I went up to Wawa, I had my coffee, and I'll hit it again tomorrow, but it's dry. I will say no insect, I put insect repellent on me before I get out there, and I got safety glasses, and there are no fire ants that I was aware of, no insects, no snakes. So it was okay. And then I hear my neighbor comes out and he goes, he said something like, had enough, or some smart remark. So I chatted with him for a little bit. And here I am in Florida. Let's go back to that thumbnail, shall we? The Villages, November 2020, at a crossroads, the DOXX Report. That is the Villages. That's the newest, and that's a retention pond. Now, I beautied it up with AI, okay, but that was essence the room, and it was great. But I went through the Villages. I mean, I had given everything away in Las Vegas. I made up my mind to move to Florida, and I thought I was positive of it. I mean, this is what God told me, in a sense. I mean, it was like, all go. I get down here, and it's like, I'm not a villager. What am I doing? And they had me a golf cart. They had me in the house, the newest section of the area. And they give you a golf cart, and it's all paid. And you see the realtors that they've handpicked for you. And of course, the realtors are showing homes that have already been purchased, but now the couples want to get out of them. And it's like, well, if they want to get out, why do I want to get in? And I'm looking at a block wall, and there's I remember one in particular, it was 2 engineers. She was talking about the people. There's an engineer, and he was married to an engineer, building or whatever engineering means. I guess it could be any function. Anyway, there's a wall I'm looking at, and I go peek over the wall, and it's like, I don't have a view, and there's an intersection over there where the businesses going in, gas stations or shopping, and it's like, this is depressing. And then she's showing me these empty rooms, and I hear this voice, Lex, this is your life. You are an empty room, aren't you? And I go, oh man. I get back to this beautiful room, and the voice again, Lex, is there love in your life? I don't want to answer that now. What is going on? But it all resolved. But it's beautiful. I mean, it was, I just curled up on the couch with it was kind of cold, actually, because this is November. And I took one of the very thin, what do they call it? Bedspreads, and just laid on the couch and watched television, because I'm not a villager. I don't, and when you're in the villages, you have to have a golf cart to get to your mailbox, because they don't deliver it to your door. It's like a big apartment complex. You have to go, so many blocks to get your mail. And I just didn't like it. And all she talked about were the activities. And I'm not, I have my own activity. I have a fitness center, and so I just thought, nah, this is not for me. And what am I doing here? I can't go back to Las Vegas. Well, I have to go back to Las Vegas, but I gotta get something lined up, because I'm moving. I don't know where. And then the next day, it all worked out. Reggie and Donnie took me around, and I offered to pay for gas all the time. They didn't want no gas. They didn't want anything. Okay, So, and then we finally came to the beautiful yellow home on the golf course. But isn't that pretty? Looks great, doesn't it? Back to the golf course. Oh, clouded up. Now that's a better shot. And I got the flag up there, the Florida flag, and America. I got July 4th weekend coming up, big weekend, but I got to get the hedge done. So I'll take tomorrow off too, and get that done, and then some trimming. And then Saturday's supposed to be the big rain. There was supposed to be rain today. It's not going to happen. There was supposed to be rain yesterday. Didn't happen. Friday it'll probably be missed. I'll have to water Friday. I'm going to get up and just turn on the sprinklers. And then Saturday's the big event. All right. Do I dare look at the comments? Yes, I remember that day well. Crossroads. The Villages was a flop. Why did this happen? And that was another thing. I asked myself, like, why does God put you through this? It's not easy. Why couldn't it have just been easy? Well, then you're not tested, are you? Right? So it's a. I would have still believed, but it was like, what did I do wrong? Pavel, safety glasses. Well, after that cataract removal, I'm all on board. I had just a new appreciation for my eyesight. It's that double vision that I had it cleared right up, and my eyes aren't that great anyway. Even when I get outside, I'm always I have floaters, but I can drive, but yeah, you got to do the safety glasses. Can you imagine losing an eye? And I didn't have this in my show outline. I do an outline to make sure I cover everything, because if the comments are non-existent, then I'm going to do it. I have to get to it, and if the comments are popping, then I forget what I was going to talk about. So I do have a show outline. So I already forgot what I was. Oh, this poor girl, 31-year-old girl. She goes hiking on the river, and then she decides to cool off in the river. 3 feet of water, 12 foot. There were two 12. There was a 12-foot and a 13-foot alligator. It got her arms. It was horrendous, and she died. But it's like, do you really respect nature? What do you? And then I see another news blip on her. Oh, she was a nice person. She was a good person. It's like, well, who's saying she wasn't a good person? And she's familiar with the outdoors. Well, give me a break. I don't think so. Why? That's like me, 72-year-old. You think I'm going to go to a lake shore to go fishing and take a nap? No way. In Florida? And it's mostly large mouth bass anyway, which I'm not a big fan of. I'd rather do striper fishing or trout fishing, but that's just me. Safety glasses, Aussie expat approved. Hedge trimming. You never know. Something flips up. I almost had a bird. I came out the garage door, and this cardinal, a female, was just taking a shortcut, just came whipping around. And she could have gone right in my eye. Uh-oh, Gampers is here. Good afternoon from a hazy, hot, humid New York City. It's not that bad here. I was going to put the camera in the bird cage, and then I thought, no way. I don't know if it's going to take the heat. Let's look at my weather app. I can't find the one I usually use online. Weather. Oh, sunny conditions. Expected around 1 p.m. Wind gusts up to 7 miles per hour. Air quality is good. UV index 8, very high. Feels like 90, so the heat index is 90. And humidity, where's it? 54%. That isn't bad. You just got to come inside, run the air conditioner, you know? Why get it done in the morning, and then you have to rake it up. The cutting, and my left hand, plus I'm gripping the thing. So, you know, I can't just, there's no way I could do it, be a landscaper and do that all the time. All right, campers, uh-oh. You're going to hit me with Jax right in the beginning? Even before I get started, I did listen to the Jax show this morning. He's getting more guests on, and he did an hour and a half. So I think it's a win-win. I just didn't want to be a part of the hate, or, you know, I want to do and I'm putting some really good stuff up on X. That's, if you want to learn what spiritually centered means, it's on X. It's exclusively on X. And this is more, you know, generalized stuff. DOXXy, I better read this first. Well, I never saw it. That's not the reason. Watch Nicholas has nothing to do with this. Whatever his material he put up, whatever message he put up, which I haven't seen, has nothing to do with this. DOXXy, now that Jackson has explained that any message purported to be written by him are fake, will you reconsider your incredibly rash decision to ditch the show? It was just time. It was the opportunity presented itself. And now, was it subconsciously back in my mind somewhere that I'd like to just walk, you know? Listen, I've done enough, haven't I? He's got the StreamYard account, bought and paid for. I gave him the money. And it was a business deal, so he gave me I wanted to see the receipt, and he showed it to me. He's got the StreamYard for a year. And I really don't want to be involved with it. I try to, you know, persuade him. Like, hate doesn't sell, okay? And I don't want to be part of that. Or the yelling or the screaming or the narcs or the green rooms shit or, you know, whatever. But it was pretty good this morning. And then I had to come out here and hit it. No. Well, it was, if you want to call it rash or ditch, it just walked away. We're on good terms, you know, but I've disassociated from it. I got nothing bad to say about him. What did you expect? Well, that's true. I mean, that's the reason, like, how can I blame him? He said no guardrails. I'm a believer in guardrails, okay? Like that river where that woman got her arms bit off. Yeah, they should have guardrails, metaphorically speaking. Or you cannot go high. You don't cool off in the river in Florida. Come on. But you're correct. What did I expect? I expect maybe I could kind of persuade him, and it's not going to happen. He gets to do what he wants to do. The intention from the very beginning was just to get him the platform. So he doesn't need Curly. He doesn't need Archie's horology. Can you imagine the horology dungeon? Lux would be over there quicker than you could think. And I haven't seen it. Nobody took the offer. That's interesting, huh? What did you expect? Florida. What did you expect? What do you mean? I'm not complaining about the weather. I mean, it is hot. I'm not going to go outside. Well, a business deal in the sense that it's business that I expect him to purchase. If StreamYard allowed gifts, I would have bought it myself and just gifted it to him, but it doesn't work that way. So I'll send you the money. It was a little bit more than the amount, and he purchased it and sent me a receipt that he's got it. So he's set. That's the only thing I wanted out of it. It's gifting. As I give, so I receive. As I take, so it shall be taken for me. It's over on X. fact, one of the topics now is the act of giving. There's no, now, I misspoke when I said, well, it's a gift, but I got to see the receipt. That's what I mean by business. But a gift is no strings attached. There's no conditions. No, I did this for you. Now you do this. No. Just a gift. You get something out of it. Well, I get some entertainment. I get something to listen to in the morning when I get up that early. Okay, let's go to, what else? Show outline. That's not the show outline. Where's my show outline? Here we go. Little chatter at the beginning. So I get a message from T-Mobile, right? And they say, we're retiring your plan. That's kind of a little bullshit, what they're doing. And they said, don't worry, we're going to add more things, and we're going to all do, and they're increasing the price. So, and I don't know if I can believe them, but they say it's guaranteed for 5 years. So I got 2 phones, 2 numbers, unlimited texting, unlimited calling, and 5G, all of that, $100, which for an EDMM, I want 2 phones. So that's good. Speaking of EDMM, the market was up today. I think it's come back down. It's coming down a little bit. 0.5%, not a big deal. I got to run the numbers this weekend. End of the second quarter. I got to do my financial planning. What am I going to do for the taxes, that kind of thing. And then my budget. It's also half year, so I want to see how much I've been spending at Wawa. So T-Mobile, plan retired. They're going to increase it to, let's see, $6 a line, I think they said. So $12. It's going to be $112, I think, something like that. All right, let's get rid of that. And in the show title, I mentioned Harry Kane, superstar. I looked at this guy and I'm thinking, this doesn't look like an athlete to me. This looks like he looks like a tennis player to me, not a footballer. And every time I see him, he's kind of fumbling around or falling down, and I go, I just wasn't that. Remember in the 80s, or do you remember any of you out there, Kurt Rambis for the Lakers with the glasses? Yeah, he made the team, but he's Kurt Rambis, So I kind of looked at this guy like a Kurt Rambis. Not anymore. Not anymore. You got to give him the team captain, the biggest moment, the biggest stage that he's had. And I think he's getting close to retiring. And he scores two goals in the second half. I caught up with the first half, and Congo, Democratic Republic of Congo, they were leading by a goal. Then the announcer comes on. He says, England has never won in the World Cup, has never won a game that they've were behind a goal going into the half. And I go, there you go. Okay, so why should I watch the second half? So I put it on mute, and I got busy doing something else. And I come back, and it's 2-1 favor of England. So I got to look at this guy as Larry Bird now. Not Rambis, not Kurt Rambis, but Larry Bird. So congratulations to England and Harry Kane. And there's some guy that got disqualified, got a red card. And I thought, wow, I guess because he stepped on him. It looked a little too aggressive. So I don't think he can play the next game. But that's as far as I follow it. 11 people watching, no comments. Okay. And then my neighbor, I talked to him in the morning. The dog, I had the garage door open, but I had the screen shut. And he said the dog just came up here, and she started whining to see me. So I went, and then chatted with him. And then I get a knock on the door. I'm expecting the pest control guy, but he's there, and he gives me his wife. There's a donut shop in Leesburg, and they have apple fritters. These things, they're good, but they're as big as a dinner plate. And he gave me one of them, and thank you. And I started munching on that, but it's a meal. I mean, I still got a lot of it left, but that was nice of him. But these are the fritters I like. Apple fritters are the Winchells. You get them fresh, they're hot, but what else have we got? All right, now, pest controls. And this is the same guy that I've had since I've been here. Very friendly. He'll text you that he's coming, and then he'll ring the doorbell, let you know that he's here. Okay, and then I greeted him at the door. He had lost, I said, "You've lost weight, man. I mean, a lot of weight." And he was like muscular, but it was dramatic. And I go, "You've lost weight?" And he goes, "Yeah, he went from 206, because I wrote it down, to 173 pounds. And he started this in March. So what is that? March, April, May, June, 4 months? That's pretty dramatic. And then I asked him, "You're not on that weight loss drug, are you?" And he goes, No. And then he wants to be a bodybuilder. So he's got a coach, and the coach, it says, "Well, if you want to be lean, you've got to lose that weight." But I said, "Well, some of these gigantic guys, they're not very healthy when it comes right down to it." And he said, "No steroids either, just natural," but that's what he wants to do. Okay, he's got a hobby. But I'm curious to see if he's going to keep it off. That's a dramatic weight loss. We got comments on the DOXX Report on a Thursday. Uh-oh, Pavel going right into Jack's. Sure. I don't know anything about that. I didn't want to put it up there. I didn't want to read it. I don't know anything about that. That could be true. That could be your version or narrative or what you think, but you may not. I don't know that. I don't know anything about that. Oh, speaking of the Jack show last night, Narc was up there. This guy, what's he doing the supplements? Is he ODing on the supplements? He sounds really bad. He's got something wrong. Oh, I don't have an opinion. What kind of opinion would I think Russians are losing. I don't know what the hell's going on. What can you do? That's over. Why doesn't Europe, the European Union, do something? I guess Trump will sell them the weapons, but it's out of hand, isn't it? I keep thinking that something internal will happen with the Russian leader, but it hasn't happened. I really don't have an opinion. It's senseless, isn't it? I mean, what are you going to do? Well, I think it's cheating. It's not even cheating. It's like, why would you mess with that? Or that's like getting the stomach staple. Well, why don't you just get a little discipline, like start a routine, an exercise routine? I don't think it's healthy. Off the bat, I'm waiting for, every med has side effects. And I'm waiting, there's going to be like, now, certain cases, if it works, but then I guess you got to stay on it. I don't know. But you couldn't like walk, or you couldn't gradually take it off, get a healthier lifestyle. It's a case-by-case basis, but for me, I'm not doing it. What about seniors on cannabis? I'm not for that either. It's a lot different than having a drink every 2 weeks or a week, I don't really have an opinion. I mean, it's legal. I mean, it's a med, but it's like, really? Like, there's a lot of antidepressants out there, but you're probably depressed where therapy would be necessary. Well, you don't want to feel your feelings. Well, you're going to feel them anyway. You're depressed. Get to the issue, So that was the pest control guy. Onward. Before we get to the heavy news. So I got the bug to price an Apple iMac. I thought, well, I bought it in 2021. It's 5 years old now. Maybe it's time to get a new one. So I went in and priced the M4 20, and I was going to go 24 gigabyte of RAM, and I'll stay with the half terabyte drive, the 500 gigabyte drive. So I'm pricing these things, and it's like it's $2,000, and they'll give me like, I put my serial number in, And they claimed that it had a 250 gigabit hard drive. Well, no, it has a 500. And so I call them up and they say, oh, well, they'll readjust the amount they'll give you. But for the 250, they'll give $30. They'll give $230. So maybe I get $250 for the trade-in. I don't know. And they'll send you a box. And all they want is the iMac. They don't want the keyboard, so I keep the keyboard, I keep the mouse. But I thought for $2,000, and I would use it for off the living room. That's where I do the clips and the sound stuff and everything. But it's like, this M1, I can do it all anyway. I'm not even a heavy user with the GoPro or whatever. Speaking of which, we'll get to that. That's what the modality thing is. What is it? Multimodal pathways, the villages. Got a little clip on that. But I'm thinking for $2,000, I'll wait till next year or something. But if I get more into, iMovie, I'm self-taught on just to trim up the clips and make a clip and adjust the audio. But do I need an M4? Is it really going to zip through the work? I don't know. Comment. I think you may have a point there. I don't know what it is, but I think you have a point. Pavel Morty hasn't streamed since he hit a 20 milligram cannabis dose, THC dose. Related? It might be. Maybe somebody should do a welfare check. But I get a kick out of it when he puts up, a show like a week ahead of time. You really think he'll show up at that time on that date? But he wants to do it. Oh, that's what he wants to do. So that's enough of the Apple. Let's talk about Toyota Dynamic Cruise Control versus Subaru. Did I already tell you this story? I couldn't figure out the cruise control. Well, I owned a Subaru since 2002. And they're all the same. They have a little area there, and you push the toggle thing in, and you activate it, I think. But it was really easy. And then you could go, 25 miles an hour, anything. Set it to anything. Well, this is dynamic. So finally, I went onto YouTube, and there's a bigger button you have to push. So I pushed that. Works great. I don't get close enough to where it slows me down yet. I haven't been coming up from behind to anybody to see if it slows up for me. But it's a little different because you can only increase it like up to 3 miles an hour, or you got to start over. So you get to your speed and then just push this button. I thought it was like some other kind of controlling thing. I didn't know it was a cruise control. The truth seems murky. It's not. I don't drive that much. I went with performance. I'm not even tracking the mileage. Oh, and I found the fuel gauge. Because I swear it wasn't there. It's not a needle, but there's a series of bars, on the bottom that go across. And then on top of that, it tells you the miles to empty. I swear, it wasn't there, but now it's there. I just never saw the thing, because I've always had a needle, this has had electronic bars going across. But I don't. The truth seems murky. Does your car get the mileage advertised? I don't even know what it advertised. That's a good question. Let's go look. Let's ask Grok. No, we're gonna ask Chat GPT. Let's see, what is the advertised mileage of a 2025 GR? Oh, I love this chat thing. I was doing some tax stuff on it. It was great. Toyota Corolla. city, oh wow, the 8-speed automatic is 19 miles per gallon in the city. I think that's probably right. The highway is 27, combined is 22.
Okay. I found this on the web for
Siri, stop. Did anybody hear me say Siri? Let's see, the 6-speed manual, but I have the automatic. 8-speed automatic, 19 city, 27 highway, 22 combined. But I haven't really been on the highway. When I need to go to Orlando, you know, we'll see. 19's about right. It's nothing to write home, you know, to brag about. And I get asked that question at the fitness center, but an EDMM, who cares? I've had it since January, let's see, February 1st, I drove it home. So I just turned it to 1,000 miles. Driving, you know, February, March, April, May, June. 5 months, I did 1,000 miles. That's nothing. See, you keep framing this rash, shock. I was very calm about it. I thought and after I did it, it was a wonderful opportunity for me. I feel better, and I don't let him do his thing. You know, let me read this first. And I walked away. I haven't talked bad about him. Nobody reaches me offline. You think I talked to... DOXX Report wanted to have a talk with me. Lexi wanted to talk to me. I said, what do you want to talk about? And he got all pissed off. This was years ago. Doc, since your shock decision to ditch Jack's show, which fishbowl members have reached out to you offline to reconsider? None of them. And I really don't want to... If you want to talk to me online. And that includes Jack's, and that includes Dr. Bob. Just when I'm doing a show, just ask for a link. I mean, you're welcome to come on and chat. I'm not going to go over there. I don't want to be, you know, I'm not, I disassociated myself from that enterprise. Maybe shocking to some. I don't think it's so shocking. All right, cruise control. Now, what do you think about this New Zealand character? He got another strike from Archie. He doesn't... It's just like he's other employer. The employer tried to say, hey, stop this. No, he doesn't get it. Rules don't apply to this guy. And I'm actually on Archie's side on this. Don't use it. If you want to do a short piece, an audio segment, or that's fine. Because I don't think it really bothers Archie, to tell you the truth, because he's a narcissistic personality disorder, in my opinion, and grandiose. So he likes the attention, good or bad. But it's it's Lux. People are trying to tell him, and he's had. I'm going to give you a surprise. We're going to do a midweek playboard because I wanted to see what he was making, and then we'll do the other two. He's doing okay. He's doing better actually for the 30-day, and for the week I think. Well, you'll have to decide. But so so Bateman is just like doesn't get it. So he got a strike, and strike one, 3 you're out. Why would you? Well, I've done that. So I can't criticize you. Time Lord, I had a 10-minute argument with Siri. She did not like my tone when I asked her a Trump question. Siri is, I don't know. I kind of think the opposite sometimes, or at least with Google. Siri, I'm not sure of. I never ask them. I don't even ask them for news because it's, they'll give me some, I don't want to, Bloomberg, CBS, ABC, I don't want any of them. Let's see. Okay, I don't even want to put that up either, Pavel. Why don't you just leave him alone? That's, he may not even do it next time for next year. Who knows? Tim did well leaving Well, I think let's see. What about, okay, Time Lord, Timmy did well leaving AC3. What about, let's see, there's Marco Ferrante. He's got a finance degree, but he's working as a salesperson at a watch store. And JJ, what about JJ? Do you think he succeeded? I don't know. And Marcelo, he's making money. All right. Let's get some DOXX news. I got to give you, let's go right to Trump. Get that out of the way. This is going to be Buenos tardes, DOXX. Oh, good. Is that our afternoon or good evening? I don't know. Oh, look at this, Tanzil. He's looking for, got some info on Marco Ferrante. While sales may not be perceived as more prestigious, the money is likely good where Marco is. Rank and the finance gigs may not pay close to it. We got to start somewhere, Doesn't mean you have to stay there. Oh, thank you for asking. Hey, DOXX, excuse my ignorance. What is the flag you were showing next to the American flag? Well, I told it to put in the state flag of Florida. We are a fantastic governor. Governor, can you say a few words about how you really should run a state?
So what I would say to you is this. You are going to hear those horror stories from every local government in the state. They are going to, I know that, and they're doing that to try to get people to not vote for this. They have a self-interest in keeping the gravy train going. If you can't see that, I don't know how I can help you. You're going to continue to be inundated by this. They're going to tell you there's no money for infrastructure. You're not going to have any money for police. You're not going to have any money for any of these things. They are going to say that over and over again. And let me ask you this question. Excuse me, I'm answering your question. You asked the question, I'm answering it. If we had $32 billion in 2019, I came here, I was all over the state. Did we not have services in 2019? I mean, is this, do I have amnesia? I mean, yes, we did. So even if you just said 2019 levels, adjust for population and inflation, that'd be like 43 billion, 44 billion. You're having way more, even if you pass this property tax thing. So don't buy the hype that you're not going to be able to do these things. I can tell you, anytime the property tax is put to voters around the country, you hear the same arguments over and over again. And look, mine was a lot bolder. I mean, like, part of me is like, I'm voting for it, but part of me is like, you watered it down, right? It's like, so if anything, your concern should be it should have been bolder. Not that somehow this is going to be. So yes, they are going to say, oh, we can't give pay raise because property tax. We can't do this. We can't do that. You're going to be inundated with that. They're going to try to get every single person who is connected to local government to be hostile to doing things for taxpayers. But, one of the things is, people that work in these agencies pay property tax too, and they are getting hit. And they would like to have a break as well. So that's going to be the hype. I think you're going to continue to see that going on. But this proposal the legislature did, really at best, even when it's fully implemented, it will reduce your homesteaded property tax burden by about 2/3. And so, if you're paying, $10,000, you're going to get 2/3 off that once it's fully phased in. People.
Thank you, Governor. And yeah, don't buy the fake news. There's never enough tax dollars. They borrow. I'm talking Canadian liberals UK Labour Party, the Communist Democrats here. It's always about higher taxes, higher taxes. No, they just want the money and control over you. But so let's see, my property tax this year, last year was $4,500. So I think let's say it goes to 47 this year, I'm gonna get hit. But in 2 years, it'll be down like to 1,600. I'm for that. You know, I'm voting for it. Absolutely. Thank you, Governor. That's another reason to move to Florida. Now, this is a good time because there's a housing problem, some kind of housing crisis. So let's get that out of the way. Let's see, who do I have here? Let's see. Yeah, President Trump, he was given what was it? He refused to sign the affordable housing bill. Why would he do such a thing?
About what?
The housing bill that you didn't sign today.
No, I said I'm not signing the housing bill. I want to see what happens. We said, look, the housing bill is housing. I made billions of dollars with housing. I know housing better than anybody, maybe anywhere. It's all about the interest rate. Lower the interest rates, you can have all the housing you want. But you have to understand, I don't want to hurt people that own houses too. These people, for the first time in their lives, they have valuable houses. They become rich. I don't want to hurt them either.
Sir,
what you want to do is what good for everyone? Get the interest rates down. We have this numbskull that was the head of the Fed before, and he's a stupid person. And we call him too late because he was too late with the interest rates all the time. We need low interest rates. Low interest rates will solve everything. We'll solve that. Now, despite that, we're doing well with housing. But where we're really doing well is oil is plummeting and costs are coming down. Affordability, we're doing great. The Democrats gave us a tremendous affordability problem, and we're reducing prices a lot.
Thank you, Mr. President. And since we're on, we've heard from the governor. Let's Florida Representative Donalds get her out of here.
I have just 20 seconds. I want your thoughts. Ilhan Omar, should she be expelled from Congress? The president said possibly even the country. Looks like there's no record of her being a naturalized U.S. citizen through her father. She might have lied about married the brother. What do you think?
If she's not naturalized citizen in our country, she's ineligible to be in Congress. So yes, she should be removed.
Thank you, Representative Donalds, Florida. Comments, let's see. Where's the gravy train? I've been looking my whole life. Yeah, well, become a Democrat. Become what do they call the super, what do they call the delegate? A super delegate for the Democrat, DNC, you know, or I go into the feed the children in Minnesota or whatever that is. You know. Got to work. I'm so thankful I learned to work, and then I got with a 401k and put some money away. So thankful. I don't. Oh, listen, it's going to be. I think the next one's going to be Rubio. It's between Rubio and Vance, and if whoever comes in second. I don't know. Let's say if Vance came in second, would he be the VP again? Would he do that? I don't know. Rubio's going to be hard to beat. I think. He's running for president. I'd vote for him. I would vote for anybody on the ticket, really. I mean, I can't vote for a Democrat. They're delusional, deranged, and dangerous today. They don't want police. They don't even want to, they want open borders. I mean, come on. Nonprofit in a lib state. Start a government. Exactly, Pavel. Start a government-funded nonprofit, just a nonprofit anything in a lib state. Oh, boy. Well, no, I'm not going to negotiate to go back, but I don't hold anything against the two. If they want to come over here, and I want to talk, if they got anything that, instead of talking privately with them, then let's just do it openly on this channel. If you want, or I'll go over there, but I don't, you know, I have nothing against them. Doc, so you're open to negotiate not to go back now, provided with Jax or Bob hops? No, that's not the reason I want him to hop over here. If they got something to say or questions, I'll answer them from here. But I'm not going, I can't go over there. I'm not going to be part of it. And once in a while, Dr. Bob comes in the comments. No. Let's see. Stink to be stuck with is useful to you. Oh, I can't imagine living there. It's basically, the public union lets you live there, the public unions. I think we have a higher population here, or just as high, but like the governor said, it's like they do it for like, I don't know, so much more money. It's just paying workers. It's the labor costs, public service labor costs. Stinks to be stuck with this useful idiot. Is that the governor in New York? And getting more so, say J.B. Deeks. No private discussions, only in open. That's the Curly method. Yeah, but he does it to yell at him. I'm not here to embarrass him or make fun of him or criticize him. No private discussions, only in the open. That's the Curly method. Well, in some ways it works better. Because what does it end up? It ends up like, being twisted and narratives are put out, false narratives, that kind of thing. Or don't come over. It doesn't matter. I'm not requesting them that they come over here, but I'm not going to kick them, off or anything. Well, I was really never a money person. I didn't donate that much over there. I set up the StreamYard. I mean, I purchased that, in essence, for him. So, and I try to advise him. I don't think hate sells, and yelling at the audience, I don't think that works, or going after, I listened to a pretty good show this morning. Pavel Jax doesn't understand why he was booted off the DOXX gravy. There was no gravy train. I gave him a gift, and I would do it again in hindsight. I'd still do it. It makes no sense. Well, listen, what are you doing? You're going AD never calling Patrick on me, are you?
I want you to be honest, Docs. It's not flying with me. I'm not buying it, Docs.
Oh, well, I don't care if you're not buying it. All right, let's get rid of Governor DeSantis, Representative Donalds. Oh, we also played the President Trump on the interest rates. I guess we better go to President Trump's. He got some kind of a hardball question there. He's making a lot of money while he's president. One of the reporters, asked him about that. Let's get a different graphic up. Joint Base Andrews, and there's the new American president. That's the gift from Qatar, was it? It's been upgraded with all the security, beautiful piece of machinery, all the security for the president. And Air Force One and more. Now tell me if this is too loud. In fact, I'm going to turn my mic off so I can listen onto my phone.
This is a plane that the United States of America should have. Our Air Force One was 35, 36 years old, and it would be parked next to the new ones like this, and it really didn't look appropriate for our country. So we're very proud of this. The country is very proud of it. And you can do two things. You can low-key it, or you can show it. And I think the country should be very proud of it. And it's beautiful, and you'll see that in a little while when you board. As far as things are going, the denuclearization of Iran is moving along well. They've had very good meetings, and we'll see. We hit them very hard for 3 nights. you know, but we're getting along very well. So I call it the denuclearization, and it's all taking place. It's all going well. The stock market is setting records virtually every day. The oil price is way down. We're down at 68. I see it hit 68 today. That's lower than when I started the, I guess you could call it an attack on Iran so that they never have a nuclear weapon. So the oil price is now lower. The retail prices, the gasoline is coming down rapidly. And if you have any questions, let's go.
Let's do it. See, answer questions. When did Biden ever do that? See, I noticed 10 in the chat. This is what a real news YouTube station looks like. Behaves. 10-0. What's the cost?
The new plane, and how much did it cost American taxpayers to upgrade the plane?
Well, of course, very little relative to what it would cost if we did it a different way. So this was a gift from a country that's treated us very well, and they're an ally of us over in the Middle East, Qatar. And I went to Boeing. I said, "Who has the best one?" They said, "Qatar." There's never been a plane like it. Frankly, we couldn't build a plane like this because we wouldn't be willing to spend the kind of money necessary. They spent top dollar. So the head of Boeing said, "This is considered the best 747 they've ever built." And I went to Qatar. I said, "I'd like to use it for a period of time because the other ones, as you know, are under construction. They'll be here in 2 years." And because, you know, the plane is 35 years old. So I said, "I'd like to use it." And the Emir, Tamim, who's a great gentleman, he said, no, I'd like to make a contribution to the country. So it was very nice. And we were able to do it in about 5 months, you know, bring it up to the presidential standard, meaning security-wise. And you're gonna get a kick out of it. There's just nothing like it.
Yeah, has the fake news ever asked a Democrat in office what the cost is? Because they don't care about the cost. Just raise taxes. Raise taxes. Let's see, what is this here? Hang on. Yeah, you're making a lot of money there, Mr. President, aren't you?
You had a very lucrative year last year. What message does this send to average Americans, especially those who
I don't get involved in my personal. We have funds that run my money.
But you are benefiting.
Well, I've made a lot of money before I became president, and they invest my money, and I don't talk to them. I don't even speak to them. So I have many people. I don't know what they call it, closed accounts or something. You put your money in, and that's it. I don't talk to them. They're big institutions, and they run it. But yeah, I've had a great career in business. I've had a great career. I don't know if I've had a better career in politics or business, but I had a great career in business. And, you know, you saw the cash, and you report the different things. And what they do is, we gave it, I think it's called the blind account, but they take it. And I never speak to any of the people that run the money, but they're at big institutions, and they invest in whatever they invest in.
Critics say you're profiting off the presidency.
Well, you know why I'm profiting? Because the stock market's going up. Everybody's profiting. If you have a 401k, how's your 401k done? It's about up 85%. Thank you, President Trump. So we're all profiting. I'm profiting because I have a lot of money and a lot of cash, and I give it to institutions. I don't know if they know what they're doing or not, but they buy a vast array of things.
Oh, the media. Oh, the journalists. She's not in for money. She's a activist, fake news activist. She's a political hack. All right, one last clip here. Iran and winning, other than Iran.
Well, I think they've come a long way. We hit them very hard last week. I think they're fine. I think we're going to. It's the denuclearization of Iran. It's very simple. And Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. Otherwise, all of this stuff that we look at, all of these things that we do, the country's never had activity like it's got right now. So we're building more factories and car plants and other things. We went for years without ever building one car plant. Now we're building many car plants. We're building AI. We're building we're building all over the country. $19.1 trillion being invested. The record was like 2, and we've got 19.1, and it's going to continue. And when those buildings open, you're going to see something like the country's never seen before. That's why the stock market's going up every day. That's why your 401k, because everybody benefits. When the stock market goes up, everybody benefits. More jobs, more everything. And we're creating more jobs. We have more people working today than have ever worked in the history of our country. It's great. And that's before these places open. They'll be opening up over the next year. And we have them coming into Taiwan. We have from Taiwan, we have more chip makers, and the biggest company in the world, actually, the chip maker, but they're coming in, they're building in Arizona, and they just announced they're going to double the size. We could have 50% of the chip market by the time I leave office. You know what we had now? Nothing. And then I got, as a gift, another gift, I said to Intel, give the United States, they needed something, they needed some help, the chip maker. I said, give the United States of America, I'll do it for you, but give the United States of America 10% of your company. He said, you have a deal. He said it so fast, I said I should have asked for more. But he said, you have a deal. And that stake is now worth $80 billion. I made $80 billion for the country in 8 months. Does anybody talk about it? No. Have a good time, have a good flight. Enjoy the plane.
Yeah, if you didn't talk about it, we'd never hear about it, Mr. President. And if you want to get involved with the success of America, get a job. Get off YouTube, get a job. Drive a bus, start somewhere, do something. All right, there's your Trump. That's Air Force, what was it? Air Force, Joint Base Andrews, Air Force One. I lost my stream here. There it is. Let's go back to the beautiful Florida. Oh, beautiful. Such a blessing to live here. Comments. Let's see. The big donation. StreamYard ain't cheap, says JB. Well, that's true. Yeah, I'm a generous guy. And he had, and in fact, he had a little money left over. Okay. I think it was 400. Time Lord, what's your background? When's the last time? You ever read the gospel at all? Do you think Jesus would be MAGA? Do you think he'd be stealing? You know, feed the poor, but he'd be stealing from them instead? You know, stealing from the government? Do you think he'd be stealing from the government? Hurricane, let's see, I know. Get them, what the likely would judge say? Well, this is almost worth a drum roll. He wouldn't want to see me anyway. I'm not a cult member. I don't approve of his cult activities. Lex, I know that if a punter that you were cordial with came to visit you, would likely get them, you give him lunch out. Wawa, it'd be a lunch. Hey, it's on me. Absolutely. We'll go up there and, oh, God. The woman that I raised my voice to, she made my pulled pork breakfast burrito this morning. She, piled it in there. I don't know how she did that. But, and then I had it with water, and then I get my coffee to go. And I use my, my phone app, so I didn't even have to pay for it. But it was delicious. Yeah, of course I'd take you. What is the likelihood you would judge, let's say Mike the Snake, for eating a double cheeseburger and liter of cola, if that's what he wants? What would I talk to him about? He's not going to let me talk. He's just gonna, tell me all he knows about anything. Oh, yours is nothing but brief. I mean, come on. You like to talk. Come on. Hurricane, yes, this is a news channel, as we both know. I specialize in news briefs. I focus on breaking news and speed to viewer. About Morty? Curley has offered to coach on lengthy reporting formats. Well, you're a little long-winded there, Hurricane. That's all I'm saying. Well, at least you can hear them, as long as they're not blowing out people's earpods. Some of them, yeah, I turn them down, but it's tricky. I play back almost every show, and I'll listen to the levels. But I don't want people going, with AirPods or something and blowing it out. But as long as you can hear it. And, you can always adjust your audio, right? Your audio volume, for the clips you played are not balanced. The clips are, okay. I mean, I do put prep into my channel, but I don't want to, spend that much time with it. Okay, that's more like it. Now okay, here we go. Pavel, Mike's varied array of income sources are not to be discussed. A little shadiness going on there, huh, Pavel? I don't think so. Mike's brother, Rufus. Now, this must be Dirk. I know you're going to put that up there. No, she smiled and she called me honey and she smiled at me, and she accepted my apology and she says, oh, you don't have to. And I go, no, I do. It was just, I was pissed off because it was the second one I dropped. And I realized, it's like my cleaning lady. There's no point in getting pissed. She said she would pick this stuff up. I got my garage all organized. She's just sitting there waiting for her to pick it up. She's going to get a ride to come and get it. She needs the new boxes, and she'll take everything I got there. She hasn't done it yet. Am I pissed? No, because I know who she is. So if they're not going, and then I had another one put the tag opposite, from a label should be, facing up when you put it on the sack, so you grab it from the top. But she had really taped it shut, but she had it upside down. But I don't care how they do it. I grab it like a baseball bat. I just take the whole thing and I it's on me. It's not on them, it's on me. If I drop another one, it's on me, not them. Can you adjust your icon in the typewriter to place the U.S. flag to the right of the state flag? It is at the right of the state flag. What does it matter? I thought about doing that. What does it matter? No, because I had AI do it. So left to right, it's the state flag, and then the America flag. Why would I do that? Does wisdom really come with age? I don't think so. And I'm not calling, this is not about Morty, but there's a lot of senior knuckleheads. I mean, come on. My lawn pest control is coming today. I've asked Morty to share some wisdom since he's been on this earth a heck of a lot longer than I have. He seems astounded someone would ask for that sort of advice. What are you asking him? Ask him why the cannabis all of a sudden, the THC. What has he told you? What wisdom has he given you? All right, back to the show outline. We still got a lot to go. Get that up. Let's have a little fun. Now, this may be a little loud. Just a warning. I did turn it. I mean, I can't do it all. Okay, so maybe a little loud. So turn it down. I can't adjust the volume because it's a preloaded clip. But I may have turned this one down a little. It should be okay. We're going to have a little talk from Dr. Trump.
Have you or someone you know been diagnosed with TDS? The symptoms can be relentless. Fortunately, I'm Dr. Trump, and I have a treatment plan. Let's hear what some of my patients have to say.
I have been suffering for over a decade, and after listening to Dr. Trump, I can see some results.
Man, I've been suffering for years. I really didn't believe that was help out there. That was when I came across this video on TV.
I really thought I was a lost cause. This was gonna affect me for the rest of my life. But after using the treatment plan, I can see a difference.
I really wasn't sure I could help some of these people. They were so far gone, I wasn't really sure.
I had no idea how much this was affecting my life. My work is slowed down. I'm hardly recognizable anymore. I just needed help.
I couldn't eat. I couldn't sleep. Constantly angry. I made everyone miserable around me.
I feel like I've aged 20 years in the last 2 years. I've been so concerned. I was really starting to worry about my future.
The treatment is simple. Turn off. Fake news. Say your prayers, and if you ever feel anxious, just have a Diet Coke like me, and you're going to see a remarkable difference in your life.
I agree with all that, but instead of a Diet Coke, try a 12-ounce cup of coffee daily. That'll snap you out of it. And that is, of course, AI. That's a parody. That's satire. That is, those were not the real people. Okay? Thank you. Time Lord, I believe Trump made the right moves for the USA. The country was messed up by Pelosi-type Oh, the left, they'll destroy it. Look at the states. Look at New York. Look at Illinois. Look at California, for God's sakes. There was a comedian who took a camera to Malibu. You know, it's been a year since the fires. Nobody can get permits on Malibu. You know, the people have the money. They can't get permits. It's terrible. It's a mess. Okay, we got rid of Dr. Trump. All right. Now, let's do a, that was parody. Now let's do a PSA. You know, I'm going to have a bicycle, and I want to get on the golf cart. I want to go to the villages. Now, the most dangerous will be crossing the street, the highway, and I'll walk my bike across. But once I get over there, multimodal pathways.
Multimodal paths offer villagers a wide variety of ways to get out and explore Florida's natural beauty, stay healthy and fit, and enjoy the connectivity that brings us to some of our favorite lifestyle destinations. Let's take a closer look at multimodal paths throughout our community and the best ways to experience them for everyone's safety and enjoyment. Multimodal paths are an essential part of everyday life here in the villages. These trails are designed for the enjoyment of those traveling by non-automotive types of transportation. This includes golf cars, bicyclists, and pedestrians, who all share the benefits of the multimodal paths together and the connectivity it brings. Traveling along these paths, you'll experience tunnels, bridges, and beautiful landscapes. The speed limits on our multimodal paths remain low, especially because of the shared use and variety of modes of transportation you'll find. For everyone's safety and enjoyment, we kindly remind those traveling by motorcycle, smart car, or moped that even though they may fit on the path, they should continue to use the main roadways to reach their destinations. And for those who are traveling on our multimodal paths, we always encourage you to follow posted speed limits, use caution, and stay alert. Golf cars are villagers' favorite modes of transportation and a convenient way to get to where you're going. We encourage all golf car drivers to take some time to familiarize yourself with the rules of the road and safety tips for your golf car enjoyment. Safety tips can be found on our website at DISCIPLINE.gov.org or by picking up a golf car safety guide by visiting one of our customer service centers. You'll also discover a wide variety of pathways featuring further limited uses, such as walkers only, pets or no pets. Some provide for cycling, while others may exclude cyclists or golf cars. Please be sure to look for the marked signs indicating appropriate uses for each of these trails and pathways. For more information, don't hesitate to reach out and give us a call at 352-753-4508 or visit districtgov.org.
Good to know. And we got comments, and we're going to have the pest guy. I better not put him on the camera. I think he just pulled up. Let me give you a different shot. And let me step away and just see if he's here. All right. Yeah, there's two kind of pest guys. This is the lawn guy, so he'll fertilize the lawn, but he also he applies an antifungal, and there's also pests because the insects will eat the grass from the bottom up. So I don't think it's right. I shouldn't film him, so I'll kill the live feed for a little bit till I see him leave, or if I hear him at the front door. He puts the bill in the front door. Where do we leave off? What do we got here? People, the Snake Family Land Trust publishes yearly financial outlooks. Gilda, Mike the Snake, I'm not, I can't believe he came from I don't know his back. A guy living under a bridge for a year or two. I mean, come on. That's terrible. The course fairway looking at Yeah, yeah. We're in water restrictions, but we really got to have the rain. And it's the weirdest thing because it won't come over here. It gets close, but it never quite makes it. Pavel, DOXX the course fairway looking a good bit greener than your lawn. Have you considered adjusting your fertilization program? You may be nitrogen deficient. Really helps to have that rain. And I just asked the guy, and he says, I said, oh, do I need to water? He goes, yeah, so I'll run the water in the morning. Hopefully it'll rain a little bit tonight, too. Isn't that interesting? Time Lord, I heard De Niro moved to Boca Raton to escape New York City. A lot of people are coming down here. Glad I made it early. Hold on, let me give you credit for this one. How can Green Room improve his comedy act to increase viewership? Over at the Jack's channel? I don't know. I don't know if he wants to do that. He's got his own channel, but he's not streaming. What is FTW? For the, what? What is that acronym for? For the win. Multimodal pathways. Well, I should give you credit for that. Pavel, multimodal pathways for the win. Uh-oh, we got McLobster over here. Well, let me read this. McLobster, absolutely nothing on gator dangers. Sadly, that woman learned the hard. She was killed, permanently retired in the village. Well, she was 31. She wasn't a villager, but she. Well, then they did a newscast saying, "Oh, she was a good person, and she understood she was familiar with the outdoors." Well, apparently not. You don't. It's terrible, But you put up signs. Again, you cannot protect people from themselves. You just can't. So what do? They go in, they catch there's two alligators, and they're 12 foot and 13 foot. And there's the guy. I could turn on the camera right now and you'd see him, but I don't want to do that. Terrible. Tragedy. The villages, baby. It's beautiful over there. It is beautiful. Hang around because we're going to have Thursday Playboard a go-go? Really? I'm in a generous mood. Hurricane returned to the YouTube, been a bit of a flop. Plonka, his return to YouTube has been a bit of a flop. With Green Room, he just gave up. He's a quitter. He's a gamer. I don't think it's a shtick. Hurricane, Green Room needs a new shtick. No, I'm not giving him a. He's not going to listen to me. Look how he treated poor Sirocco. He hates baby boom. He doesn't like the seniors whatsoever. Okay, I guess I am talking about him now. I'm getting questions, Green Room. If you had your channel up, they'd be asking you directly, but you don't have your channel going, so I got to answer. I think Lex could give Green Room some solid tips so that Lex understands good viewing. I just put my word. I tell everybody, you can't have an attitude of, here I am, pay me. I showed up for you, where's my money? No, put some effort into it and do an outline of what you want to cover, what you think is interesting. Chili Badger, Mike has special needs, hence his cult membership. Well, this is not his first cult. He was in Hawaii in a cult. He likes it. He's been cult institutionalized, you might say. I don't want to find out. McLobster, Lex, do you think the gators like slower prey as found in the villages or younger, spiry, meaty victims? This week's attack could be a clue. No, how many seniors are getting into rivers? I mean, you don't do that. Well, that's what they should do. Instead of coming on and saying she was nice, well, you're blaming the victim, Lex. Well, yeah. She'd stay out of the water, she'd be alive today. If you want to cool off, find a nice rock, get under a tree, get some shade, but don't get in the water. I mean, come on. I mean, you can Google it for yourself. I really don't want to, she's gone. It's terrible. Pavel. Jack's Bob Greenroom. Seems like they're building something. Well, Greenroom wasn't there last night. I don't think he's a regular. He's always welcome there. I don't think he's a regular. Sort of a no income taxes allowed clubhouse. The guy's right outside my window. I told him about the weeds. There are so many weird plants here. I can't, and somehow they take over the lawn. The St. Augustine grass is okay, but if something else gets in there, you really got to kill it all off or resod it. I'm not, in the back, I'm not willing to do that. And so I told him, and he says, I said, if you can, and I said, there's some weeds back there, and they're not dandelions, they're just clumps of, now, if they have a really good, like a single root system, I can kind of pull them out. But if not, I can't get them. But I try, So what have we covered? Multi-pathways. The Supreme Court had a big ruling. Yes, the Supreme Court had a big ruling on birthright citizenship. Let's hear from Harvard professor Dershowitz.
Yeah, I thought I would never say this, but today President Trump proved to be a better constitutional lawyer than Chief Justice John Roberts. Roberts started his decision by misleading the readers. Here's what he says in the beginning of his decision. The issue at issue in this case is whether the Constitution guarantees citizenship to children born of parents unlawfully or temporarily present in the United States. That's not what was presented by this case. What was presented by this case is whether the president, by executive order, as distinguished from legislation, can decide who is and who isn't subject to the jurisdiction of the United States. And so what they said and what has been interpreted to suggest Congress can't do anything is pure dictum, because the only issue presented was whether a presidential executive order can do that. And of course, the answer to that is probably no. But if Congress holds hearings and determines there's a real problem of abuse of Chinese families coming into the country in order to have babies, other kinds of problems, and they narrowly say that a person born in the country who has no allegiance, who just leaves the day after, 2 days after they're born, never again comes to the country, is not subject to the jurisdiction of the United States, that's a proper congressional action. And that defines what the 14th Amendment means when it says subject to the jurisdiction of the United States. So President Trump is 100% right. He can effectively overrule that decision without amending the Constitution simply by an act of Congress.
Congress, get off your butt. Let's do it. We're the only country in the world that has this nonsense. Smoke the weed, find out which one works, says Chili Badger. No, I'm not. See, if I was going to do it, I'd do the gummies. I went into one of the shops in Las Vegas, and I said, you got all these chocolates and gummies, and why do they insist on smoking it? The mystique. They want to be cool. You're putting a crud in your lungs. I mean, I don't think that's good. Well, let's stay on the villages. I do have an older crowd here. I do have a Jill Winters with a report on the villages this week. And where is your photo? Jill Winters, where are you? There she is. All right, let me get it going here. Jill?
Hello and welcome to the What's Happening Around the Villages podcast. I'm your host, Jill Winters. Well, the big week is finally here. We're getting ready to celebrate America's 250th birthday on Independence Day, which is Saturday, July 4th. But before that, let's keep you moving by checking in to see what the Villages Recreation and Parks Department has on the schedule for this week. If there is still room available, open co-ed pickup softball Tuesday at Saddlebrook Softball Complex. These Sunset Socials are free, yet registration is required by going to an at-your-service location. The Sunset Social events are from 6 to 8 p.m. The Special Talented Adult Resident Program is hosting a patriotic Poolooza at 10 a.m. Wednesday at Trillium Family Pool. Space is limited and registration is required by going to an at-your-service location. The cost for this activity is $10 and the program is designed for special needs adult villagers living with their parents. Wednesday is July 1st, and July is recognized as National Parks and Recreation Month. Throughout the month, there's going to be various activities planned around the theme of the power of parks and recreation. The first activity is July 8th with the Power of Nature at 8:30 a.m. at Fenney. You can enjoy the Sunshine State Nature Hunt. This is a free activity, yet registration is required by going to an at-your-service location. Take a look at the latest publication of the Villages Recreation and Parks insert. On the very back, there's a calendar of this month's National Parks and Recreation Month activities. This is already the fourth week of Camp Villages. If you have visiting grandchildren this summer, this is always a great way to keep them entertained while meeting other grandchildren too. Take part in an all-American summer adventure as Camp Villages celebrates America's 250th birthday this year. Camp Villages runs now through August 7th. You can pick up a Camp Villages brochure by going to any recreation center and then register your grandchildren by going to an at-your-service location. Registration is now open for weeks 5 through 9. Keeping with the kids theme now, there are 2 separate local school supply drives going on now at a couple recreation centers. You have until Tuesday to drop off supplies at Colony Cottage, Fenney, Lake Miona, La Hacienda, and Savannah Center for fostering faith, hope, and love of Lake and Sumter counties. The Villagers for Oak Park Middle School Drive begins Wednesday, July 1st and runs through July 31st at Everglades, Eisenhower, and Ezell Recreation Centers. Supplies needed for both drives include sticky notes, lined notebook paper, spiral notebooks, index cards, black dry erase markers, pencils, glue sticks, highlighters, 3-ring binders, colored pencils, pocket folders, and pink erasers. As I mentioned at the start of the podcast, America's 250th birthday is going to be celebrated in and around the community this week. On Friday, the city of Wildwood is having Happy Birthday America from 6 to 10 p.m. at the Wildwood Community Center. Greg Warren Band will provide the music. You can take part in a pie eating contest at 7:45, and the fireworks will begin at 9 p.m. There's going to be vendors, giveaways, a fun zone, food trucks, and much more. An All-American celebration will take place from 3 to 10 p.m. Saturday at Lake Sumter Landing Market Square. The festivities will begin with the national anthem performed by Becky Baby and a color guard performance by Love and Light Flag and Rifle Line at the main stage. There's also going to be a car show from 3 to 8 p.m. presented by the Villages Classic Automobile Club. The Warman Trio will be the main entertainment from 3 to 6 p.m. According to the Villages Entertainment, the Villages cheerleaders will perform a patriotic routine starting at 4:30. Pre-registration is required if you would like to participate in a cornhole tournament held in front of Starbucks. Teams are made up of 2 players with a maximum of 16 teams total. That tournament will run as a double elimination event. To register, you can visit thevillagesentertainment.com, hover on over Free Entertainment, click on Festivals and Other Events, then click on View Details for the cornhole tournament. This tournament will begin at 3:30. There will be a watermelon eating contest starting at 6 p.m. Then the Villages Twirlers and Drum Corps will perform at 6:30 p.m. The Brothers Jukebox will be the main entertainment from 7 to 10 p.m. And while you're at Lake Sumter Landing on Saturday, you can take part in a 4th of July boat cruise from 6 p.m. to sunset. The cost is $3 per passenger. Get your tickets right there at the dock. Then on Sunday, you can shop, stroll, and explore the Villages town squares and shopping plazas during a Stars and Stripes sidewalk sale from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. There will be special offers, seasonal merchandise, and unique finds at participating businesses. Now let me tell you about what the Village's entertainment department has on the calendar for this week. To keep with the patriotic theme, hopefully you already got your tickets to see the U.S. Air Force Band of the West presents America at 250, a more perfect union, because it's sold out for tonight at the Tracy Performing Arts Center as well as Tuesday at the Sharon Performing Arts Center. However, there are tickets still available if you want to see Smash Productions presents 1776 the Musical at 7 p.m. tonight and Tuesday, as well as 2 p.m. on Tuesday. Inside the SIG Pro studio in Lake Sumter Landing this week is Night Sweat by Natalie Simons. Performance times are 7 p.m. Wednesday through Friday, along with a 1 p.m. performance on Thursday. This production runs on select dates through August 8th. The Bands of the Villages presents a Patriotic Spectacular concert at 3 and 7 p.m. Thursday at Savannah Center. This will include the Villages New Horizons Band, joined by talented musicians from the Villages Hometown Band and the Villages Concert Band. Also on Thursday, Villagers for Veterans presents Alter Eagles, the definitive Eagles tribute band at 6:30 p.m. at Epic Theater's Old Mill Playhouse. And on Sunday, inside the lobby of Old Mill Playhouse, Villagers for Veterans once again will present Sunday Fun Day with Dunning Shaw at 5 p.m. As always, you can get tickets to any of these shows by going to a Villages box office location or go online to thevillagesentertainment.com. Now let's see what's happening with local sports this week. Ladies, if you're looking for a challenge, you have until Thursday to register for the Ladies Summer Series on July 9th at Belglade Country Club. Guys, you have until Friday to register for the Two-Man Summer Series July 11th at Hacienda Hills Country Club. And you can register now for the member tournament scheduled for August 8th and 9th at Glenview Champions Country Club. Go to the host club for additional information about these upcoming golf tournaments. The Leesburg Lightning Summer Collegiate Bat League will be home at Pat Thomas Stadium 7 p.m. Tuesday against the Winter Garden Squeeze. On Friday, they will play the Sanford River Rats at 7 p.m. and then celebrate the 4th of July at 5 p.m. as the Lightning play the DeLand Suns. Admission is always free at their home ballpark near Venetian Gardens. And after the game on Saturday, Leesburg will have a firework display for the 4th of July over Lake Harris starting at 9 p.m. As always, these are just some of the exciting things going on this week around Florida's friendliest hometown. So hopefully you found a few to add to your social calendar. Join me again next week to find out what's happening around the villages. Have a great week and a happy and safe 4th of July. Happy birthday, America.
And thank you. Very efficient. Very efficient. Lots to do in the villages. Chili Badger, did I hear pie eating contest? What am I doing here when this is... Did they say the Mormon Trio? I thought I heard Mormon Trio. I don't know if pie eating... Eagles Tribute Band, baby, says Planka. All right, you've hung in there. A lot of information, and I got some UAP stuff to do, but I'm going to give you something first. I'm going to give you a midweek special surprise. And where are the girls? Come on, girls. And that is your intro to Playboard, the Playboard A-Go-Go theme. And we got Archie Luxury. We got the Beast of Brisbane, the cult leader himself, making a somewhat of a comeback, I would think. Today's revenue, $59. That's this morning show here in the U.S. Yesterday, $411. That ain't bad. It's not enough for him, but that's not bad. The last 7 days, $1,406. What about the 30-day, Lex? Well, that's true. AC3 NPD 30-day, $4,203. Pretty good for him. He leads the pack. He's in first place. Sunday fun day at the Villages. I will be there. Will you? Are you going to be there? Let me take a camera with you. No, I don't. For me, too many old people. All right. Train of thought here. Okay, so that is. Look at the super lifetime achievement award, upper right, $685,077. And I can turn the cam on now because he has left, but I'm doing the playboard. Let's see, get rid of that. All right, well, who's second place? Is it? Well, it's Timmy. No surprise there. Nothing today. He hasn't streamed. He doesn't stream in the mornings. Yesterday, $68. He must have direct contributions. Tim Wright and friends. Or, as we call him here from the DOXX Report, Timmy Tin Cup Trust Funded Marxist Airport Lounge Scrounger. Last 7 days, $378. That's pretty down. But what about the 30-day? Did he get 4,000, 3,000, 2,000? What did he do? $1,583 for 30 days. The leader is Archie. But look at the achievement award up there, $328,925. Yes, this is gross. I don't do the calculations. Google gets their cut. And now, who's next? Well, I think he's got his own. That would be Marcelo. You know Club 77.
77 Sunset Strip. 77 Sunset Strip.
Marcelo time. 00, double lot. Last 7 days, $34. Not good. For the 30-day, $860. The Lifetime Achievement Award, $33,258. And there is your playboard a-go-go. Let's get back to the shot here. Yeah, I don't think it's right. I shouldn't stream the guy from working. Shouldn't do that. People are hanging in there. We got alien talk to finish it up with. What do we do? 1 hour, 39 minutes. Well, we got to get it all in. Let's see, the media. Where is my media? Give me a moment. Uno momento. All right. We have just 2 clips. Interesting stuff. I made a PDF too. I want to kind of, I'm going to be looking, let me bring that up. I'm going to be looking at it. And this is Lou Elizondo, Representative Burchett, and Sean Hannity. I think it's kind of interesting.
What about Lazar? What about his story?
So I never met Lazar. And, you know, I've always told everybody the same thing. I don't talk about somebody who I've never met. Right. I couldn't tell you. Seems like a nice guy, but they
have a very similar situation, though. He saw the disc.
You know,
saw the power source.
No, I'm aware of what he said. So let me see if I can put this in a context that I can talk about, or at least I'm allowed to talk about. It was assessed by the scientists at the time in ATIP, and then later it was revalidated by other scientists. let's take the Nimitz encounter, for example. In 2004, November timeframe, the USS Nimitz Carrier Strike Group, right after 9/11, is doing their workups. They're kind of their warm-ups before doing a deployment over, in war for 9/11, support of 9/11 operations. So they're off the coast of California, and for days, the radar operators on the USS Princeton with the brand new Spy 1 radar, it was a multi-phase radar system that can pick up a baseball at 80,000 feet. They were picking up these UFOs, these UAP, these objects, these technologies coming in from 80,000 feet, then dropping down to just 50 feet above the surface of the water.
And hovering.
And bouncing back, but in less than 0.7 seconds. 0.7.
Crazy.
And then going back up. And it was assessed that the energy requirement to do that was something ridiculous, something like 3 times the annual energy output of the entire continental United States, right? Displayed right before our very eyes. And then, of course, pilots come back and they see it with their eyeballs. You can see it on the FLIR camera and the footage that was taken. And this is happening all the time. And by the way, where was this? It was over water. Yeah. So, Representative Burchett here is absolutely right that there seems to be, and this is something we knew in ATIP, 2 commonalities as it relates to UAP. One is water, over large bodies of water. The other is nuclear connection. They seem to be interested in our nuclear equities, nuclear power generation, nuclear warheads, nuclear weapons and delivery systems. Time and time again, we see that common thread, whether it's with the USS Nimitz Carrier Strike Group, with the USS Roosevelt in back 2013, 2014 timeframe. There is this common thread. And in fact, that was the impetus when we were at the Pentagon to start what we called Operation Interloper. It was an actual operational plan that was submitted through the Pentagon's Joint Staff to create a trap.
Can I interject something right there when he said the nuclear? One of the stories that I got was somebody that I know that was in the military, and he said it was when we first started putting the nuclear missiles in the subs, and it was going off their ship or boat or what. I'm not a Navy person, and they were loading it onto a sub, and this thing hovered over the ship at that point. And it's time and time again, there's a nuclear connection. And there was an incident where and it's been documented that the nuclear facility actually shut down because they saw these things are flying over.
Okay, let me throw
and I don't know the connection.
I'm taking your word on the nuclear part of the thing.
Sean, here's a document. This says, this is a CIA document, by the way, Central Intelligence Agency, right? Flying saucers over Belgian Congo uranium mines. The date of this is 1952. You can have a look at it for yourself if you like.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you. And
the delivery guy.
There are countless documents.
Congressman didn't do anything for you.
There are countless documents exactly like that seem to show this relationship between our nuclear technologies and whatever these are in our sky.
I think that is fascinating. The fact that this thing, they have radar that can pick up a baseball at 80,000 feet. And so they're tracking it. And in a 0.7 of a second, it can come down to 50 feet above the water. And they calculated 3 times the annual energy output of the entire continental United States to do something like that. Now, do they have different physics than we do? No. They have their physical laws are physical laws in the universe. They're just more apt to understand how they work and what to get, the most, they got a new energy source, right? Fascinating. I don't think it's, unless you want to go the spirit route, that these are demons but it's an object. I think it's fascinating. That's the first clip. I knew Chili Badger. I knew he would say something. Reptilian pities and enterprises. It's just down your alley, Chili Badger. I want to go. You got any some? It's expensive in the villages. It's a high HOA fees, and you've got the bond, interest on the bond you have to pay. And it's pricey over there. Yeah, water balloon fights, pieting contests, reptile petting, themed cocktails, feeling. Yeah, but they removed all the outdoor hot tubs because the seniors were drinking and, didn't survive the hot tub. Okay, one more on the UAP. I'm just preparing my audience for that day. I think you're going to be some of you don't say, well, oh, that's shocking. No, I warn you, the DOXX Report warned you. All right, here we go. Now, Sean asked some questions. Again, we have Lou Elizondo, Representative Burchard, I guess, and Sean Hannity on I think on his podcast. Here we go.
What do we know exists? For example, we have all these recent releases. It defies the laws of physics. What do we know for sure that we have? Age of disclosure. What do we have? There are people that say they have flying saucer. They've seen it. They've seen the power source. It's something that you would never imagine. And whatever entity might have been in there is very small. What do we know for sure? And I'll kind of let you two kind of fill in each other's gaps. What do we know? Go ahead, brother.
So maybe this is more telling than not telling, but
by the way, include what we just had released.
Sure. I signed a document with the U.S. government several years ago that says specifically prohibits me from ever discussing the topic of crash retrievals.
The topic of
crash retrievals. That's all.
We have departments that have gone on record to say they have crash retrieval departments.
Wait a minute.
Within the federal government.
You kind of go into they give you a non-disclosure, so you can't talk about what you know to be true.
Right. Basically says the only thing I can say are the words crash retrieval, and I cannot elaborate anything about crash retrieval.
Okay. I've been doing this kind of a number of decades. If you say you can't talk about crash retrieval, right, that means you know about crash retrieval. Can you talk about it?
I can talk about it.
Go ahead.
Yeah. We've had in classified and unclassified, I'll just talk about the unclassified, that have sworn testimony that said there is crash retrieval programs. We've gone into secure environments where the people have discussed those crash retrieval. They've discussed what they've seen, and actually some of them have told us where they're at to this day. The problem with that is, though, everybody says, let's go to Area 51, Burchett, or whatever. And, as soon as we announce we're going somewhere, the U-Haul vans have already left 30 minutes before we get there. And then there's, Area 51, they're probably a great place to get a hamburger and a T-shirt. But I doubt there's not a dadgum thing there that that would strike an interest to us.
But there are entire documentaries built around the fact that we have crash retrieval.
That's right.
And that we understand, at least to some level.
We've been told in a skiff the locations of those. How about that?
How many?
5 or you can't talk about it, but I can. Look, 5 different. I mean, they give.
Does the government make you sign an NDA over what you know to be true?
That's a great question. We should ask them that. And this is why Congress is so important, because without Congress doing what they're doing right now, I never would have been able to make it even this far or even half as far before.
Well, you got to realize the first report, where all this came about was I'm walking down the street, literally in Washington, D.C., and the center of all media, TMZ, comes up and asks me a question.
I saw that.
And says, I said, this thing have more holes in it that look like somebody shot it with a 12 gauge. And I said, the report's not coming out. It's going to come out later, and it'll be all just pieced together, and it won't be anything. And then it did. And then we said, enough is enough. I went to Chairman Comer, myself, and Luna, and a couple others, and said, we got to get in. Matt Gaetz was still in Congress then, said, we got to do this. And he said, all right, it's your baby.
Can we make a couple of assumptions? If there is crash retrieval and there is this phenomenon, and maybe they have laws of physics that we can't.
Well, quantum physics is something's vibrating over here, and it's immediately over here. To me, that proves God's existence because it's instantaneous. And that's what I can't grasp in my mind. But quantum physics is basically just
Can
that.
we make an assumption, though, that if they wanted to hurt us, they would have been able to do so?
We'd have been a charcoal briquette, man. We'd have been gone. They don't.
Yeah, Sean Hannity, they don't have any laws of physics that are different than ours. They understand them. They don't defy them. They understand them better than we do. That's how I look at it. Unless you believe the demon thing or their spirits or something. But we have, and the congressman was talking about the 5 locations. I think he's referring to the recovered craft that they have. There's 5 different locations where these are stored, right? Comments? Link for Dr. Bob. Boy, I would, he's been asked everything. I mean, he's all over the place. Who's the reporter in George Knapp? I mean, just you can go look up George Knapp and Bob Lazar. You can listen to everything he's ever said. He was he on ever with Art Bell? I'm not sure. I don't know. I wouldn't know what to ask him because it's a phenomenon as far as I'm concerned. Oh, look at the sprinklers are on. Look at that. Look at that water. Chili Badger Bob Lazar is a fibber. I wish he would. I think Dr. Bob's have seen a sphere shooting across not that high off the ground, as I recall. I wish he would not. Let's see, this one here, same time post. Okay. I don't know, says Basta, still not buying that they found bodies until they release it. Well, they got the craft. You just heard the congressman and the Lou Elizondo. He's got a no disclosure agreement. He cannot discuss crash retrievals. Well, that tells you right there you have crash retrievals, right? They're not military planes, right? Pasta. Bob is a spirit. Dr. Bob. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was the show. How do we do? Hour 53 minutes. I think my outline has been done. Let's go look. That's it. I tried to put links to those X things, but YouTube won't let the X. I'll have to clean that up. But it's not that hard to find. So if you're interested in it, you already know. You already know there's a phenomenon. Now there can be multiple phenomenons, right? You can still have spirits and extraterrestrials and interdimensional travel, maybe quantum travel. But it doesn't. So I disagree when he says they have their own laws of physics. No, they understand laws of physics better than we do. All right. What else we got? What's the market doing? I got to run the numbers this weekend. This July 4th weekend. What's the market? Did it come back? Nah, it got up to 7,500. Now it's backing off. I only look at the S&P 500 and oil. S&P 500, 7,460. Oil is up slightly, but it's at $68.71. What about Bitcoin? I don't have any Bitcoin. I don't have any oil. Or, excuse me, gold. Not oil. I don't have that either. Burger King can be really bad. I mean, I went into Las Vegas. She poured me the coffee. I looked down and I could see the bottom of the cup, of the paper cup, and I thought, what is this? I mean, it looked like tea. And she said, well, I'll make a fresh pot. I don't mind it. I'm satisfied. Give me a senior citizen at McDonald's, I'll take that. Packet of sugar, packet of cream. Well, maybe 2 creams, I'll take that. But I'm a Wawa guy. That is the best coffee. Colombian. That's the medium roast. Now, you can go Cuban, but, that's a little, that's dark. I haven't seen a Dunkin' Donuts around it. Well, I think there is one in the villages. There's some kind of donut shop in the village. Is it Dunkin' Donuts? I can't remember. In fact, let's go back to that pretty room here. Where is? Hang on. Media. Let's see. And this was the actual room they put me in. There it is. I mean, it got dolled up on the AI, but it was a great view. The sun was going down, and I'm in the village. I'm in the villages. They gave me a golf cart in the garage, and I spent time with the realtor. And I got back to the room. I'm not a villager. I can't buy any. There's nothing I want to buy. What am I doing? I gave all my stuff away in Las Vegas. I made up my mind to move. What have I done? And then Donnie and Reggie were, and they know a realtor, and this one was going, it's going to be an open house. And I said, let me put a bid in right now. And they accepted the bid, and they didn't have the open house. And it's mine, and I'm on the golf course. It's beautiful. Now, is a pain. Well, it's a little pricey, but now property taxes will be going down. So instead of paying $4,700, I'll be paying like $1,500 a year. That's not bad. And that eventually, hopefully, will go away. And my average, now this is all electric. So since my heat pump went out, he asked me, and I didn't know exactly, so I went and averaged my 2025. So the average monthly bill is $112 and odd cents, so $113 a month. That's cheap for a 2,029 square foot home. And I think what really helped it were the windows I put in, and these big that I had put in, and these big outdoor sliding doors where I can seal off the lanai. So it is beautiful. It's hot, yeah. There are bugs, there are snakes, but I can do it. I can deal with it. JB loves Burger King. I guess it depends which one you go to. They got to get consistent, but McDonald's is very consistent. McDonald's is very consistent. Burger King is expensive, really, in the UK. Chicken fry, say Gigadwa, baby. Original OC said McDonald's won the breakfast wars many moons ago. I used to go in there, but they've increased the prices. And I'm telling you, if you come to Florida, now Chucky, what is it? Buc-ee's is coming to Ocala, but that's going to be a drive. But you go into Wawa and you get these breakfast burritos. That's about all I get because now they serve it all day long. But it was great, and the coffee's delicious. And I'm gonna run the numbers, but also since it's the middle of the year, I'm gonna look at my budget. I'm gonna just see how many, because I put Wawa on my. I've only been using one debit card. I want to see how much I've spent 6 months in. It's all coffee and breakfast burritos. I like that. I haven't had one for a long time. Filet of fish. I haven't had it for a long time. It's absolutely teeny hobbit size. Oh, geez. And a 1/4-inch slice. Well, then don't buy it. Get fish and chips. Probably a whole burger thing weighs 20 grams. Oh, my God. You got to come over here. I played that on one of the shows. The football, the World Cup. I played a couple clips on the people were just, and they were not obese like Americans, and they couldn't believe it. I mean, it was great food. I bought some, went to Costco, so I got some food for the weekend. But I'm not cooking. I don't want to grill. I don't want to cook. I just want to heat and eat. I did get some ribs, though. All right, 1 hour, 59 minutes. That's the DOXX Report for Thursday, July 2nd. I love them, but they are so small. Yeah, you're not getting value. You want value for your dollar or for your pound. Post a Wawa breakfast review. The only thing I have, my favorite is for a limited time only, they got pulled pork. And then I customize it. I do the recommended cheddar cheese, and I use scrambled eggs. and not they can fold the eggs over. Scrambled eggs, cheddar cheese, and then I go with the pulled pork, and then the recommended Southwest barbecue sauce, and then the salsa and pepper. I add pepper, and they'll just do it up right there. Oh, it was great. And if that's not available, when that leaves, then I'm going to be doing the sausage or the ham. I'll alternate. And when they bring back the meal deal, the $5 meal deal, that's all I'll do. And that is sausage croissant, coffee, a hash brown cube rectangle thing, $5. That's the best deal. Meta glasses, I'm not even sure what that is. Can I record on that? Oh, let me see, meta glasses. What? Let's ask Chat GPT. What exactly are meta glasses? Well, when they open that Buc-ee's, I'm going to drive up there. I'm going to take my GoPro. That's a Ocala. Meta glasses are smart eyeglasses made with Meta technology. Most commonly sold as Ray-Ban Meta AI glasses. They look like Ray, but they have teeny electronics built into the frame. They can usually do things like take photos and videos with a small built-in camera. Really? Play music and podcasts through. Don't want to do that. That's fascinating with videos and photos. Make phone calls. Okay. Send messages. No, I like. Can you imagine how expensive they'll be? Why not just take a stick in with a GoPro? Remember, I'm a value customer. I forgot the mounts and everything. It cools off a little bit. I'm going to put it on the bicycle, the GoPro. Put it on widescreen, drive around, early morning. See if there's any UAPs flying around. Yeah, good call to do a food and drink review as you get what you like, you know? It's what you like. At your age, you should know what you like already. Now, I will go, the best restaurant in the town, I've had a couple people tell me that, is that golfer, that woman. What was her name? In the Villages. What was her name? What is her name? Lopez. Whatever her first name is, Lopez Resort, and the restaurant, the best. So I have to get over there. Okay, I'm tired. 2 hours, it's 2:40, almost 2:45, 2 hours, 3 minutes, 17 people watching. Anywhere you want to go, anybody streaming? Let's take a look. You think Morty fell out of bed? Let's see, Morty's Diner, he might be streaming. No, I could send him people. No. Nothing. Upcoming. Scheduled for July 6th. All right. No, golfer. Kathy Lopez, or whatever her first name is. She was a PG, professional LPGA golf champion. And she opened a resort, or has her name attached to it, or a restaurant here. Golfer. No gophers. We don't accept golfers. Well, if you can believe him. I don't know if he's really on them. Heard that Morty must have 40 milligrams plans for America's 250th. Well, let's see, that is Saturday. Guess what that happens to be this Saturday? Whiskey a go-go. I'll be having a sip.
nobody goes on forever and ever and ever. And I'm not going to go on.
I mean, a man who lives in the past has no future. What a man does today is his tomorrow.